Good morning, dear authors and invited guests. Welcome to technical session 3C. Myself, Harsh Soni, moderator of the session. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the 7th International Conference on Information and Communication Technology for Competitive Strategies, ICTCS 2022 through Zoom. I hope this session was informative enough for you guys. And in this session, we have 8 presentation, and each presentation will be given 8 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for the question and answers. On 7 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder to conclude your presentation. And if you guys have any query or any suggestion, you can write it to me in the chat box. And there's another request for the presenters that you may all please stay connected with us till the closing remarks. And just before we get started, I would like to introduce you all to the chair for the session. Okay. Dr. O.P. Rishi.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Dr. O.P. Rishi is presently working as a Director IT, University of Kota, and Associate Professor in Department of Computer Science and Informatics, University of Kota. Presently, research interest of Dr. Rishi is intelligent systems and IT, case-based reasoning, AI applications, cloud computing, and e-governance. He has published 40 research papers in international referred journals and 30 research papers in international conferences, proceedings, and received 2 Best Paper Awards. He has also published 8 books. Thank you, sir, your presence over here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Harsh. Can we start session?
Yes, sir. Okay, now I would like to invite our first presenter, Nitya Kalyani. And she's presenting on a review to analyze insider threats using machine learning techniques. Maybe she's not here. So moving for our next presenter, Rajiv Bansal, and he's presenting an optimized approach to reduce uncertainty in WDM networks.
Good morning, all. Good morning, Professor Rishi and all the participants.
Good morning.
I will be just sharing my screen for presentation.
And there's one note for the presenters that you may all please stay ready with your presentation as we are running out of the time. Thank you.
So is my screen visible?
Yeah.
So, sir, I am presenting on the topic an optimized approach to reduce uncertainties in WDM networks, the paper ID being 208. A brief introduction to the content. So I will be sharing the abstract, introduction, objective, related works, proposed methods and the methodology used, which is followed by result analysis and conclusion and future scope. I'm not able to really. Just 1 second, sir. I'm facing some issue in the full screen. This photograph is coming in the. Yeah. So a WDM network is a type of modern communication technology which is used to handle various facilities with varying delay, capacity, and dependability. The article proposes blocking probability-based scheduling and optimization methods for quality as a service in WDM networks. The proposed work approximates the blocking likelihood for incoming links and demand. In addition, each group has its own PBRRS ACO, which is priority-based round-robin scheduling, ant colony optimization method for deterministic QoS provisioning. The proposed method is based on schedule which may create deterministic throughput and latency limitations rather than statistical averages. The proposed method has implemented the round-robin method while considering priority-based task management. The priority index is assigned to each procedure. Procedures in ready queue are managed according to their priorities. Approaches with minimum PI are positioned at the head of the ready queue. The research method resolves the issue and the main advantage of high waiting time, response time, and blocking probability, thereby enhancing the network performance. The optimization has improved the performance of the network. The current deployments in WDM and optical switching technologies like OBS and MP Lambda S make it probable to consider the growth of wavelength routing networks that will give support connectivity to very high data rates. So a typical WDM networks consists of a single fiber media where various signals are multiplexed at the transmitter end through the transmitter network, and at the receiver end these are demultiplexed through the receiving networks consisting of transponders and all. So the objective of this is to the WDM is a method in optical transmission that mixes several optical transmission signals and afterward transmits them over a single communication channel using distinct wavelengths of the laser. The method allows for full duplex and capability augmentation over a single line of fiber optics. The term divisional multiplexed and time division multiplexer are equivalent, generally used with a carrier signal commonly described through its frequency. So QoS, or the quality of service provisioning, is very important. Transport of real-time packet that rests largely unresolved for optical supports. The quality of service issues in optical WDM networks has different central differences compared to the quality of service techniques in electronic routers and switches. So the problem at hand is that due to much lower attenuation and intrusion, optical communication has many benefits over existing copper wires in long distance high demand applications. So latency and blocking probability is one of the severe concerns in WDM systems. It must be reduced for a low packet losses and dropping rates. Some problem exists in optical networks which lead to the loss of data and confidentiality, significantly impacting the users and the services of optical network providers. So the objective is to study the various concepts and processes used in WDM networks and their pros and cons in network communication. To implement a balanced solution using priority-based round-robin scheduling and ant colony optimization for the high throughput and low blocking probability in WDM networks. And then to assess the performance of the offered work and compare it with base methods. So, related works in this field, Irfan M in the year 2021 designed a WDM system for the functioning of spatial frequency domain in countless instrumentation amplifier-centered digital input handling recipients, as well as impedance matching. Chebyshev band pass filter was presented as a modeling approach for RIR NLs for lengthy data transfer. However, there was the influence of RIR NLs was discussed in depth by changing the size of transfer function distribution factors, covariance distribution variables, frequency modulation propagation, and quadratic index of refraction to improve the frequency band. In another work by Mr. M.R. Senkumar in the year 2020, he introduced a blocking probability-based admission control method for quality of service provisioning in wireless division multiplexing networks. For this, they assessed the BP for an arriving connection request. The probability was at least one free wavelength at the main book ahead, time remaining idle for the complete connection duration. After this, admission control method has its root from the calculus network, which may derive deterministic bounds on network delay and throughput rather than statistical averages. In another related work in the year 2019, IDT proposed an optimal network for improving WDM. The authors presented the NC-based prevention, which had the same aid recovery as traditional 1+1 specialized preservation and resulted in a more efficient utilization, creating the route for enhanced effectiveness in limited capacities. The presented NC-based security was used to construct a revolutionary mathematical optimization paradigm for designing capable of surviving network nodes. So there was another related work by Xiu M and Musa M where the ZUM proposed a reconfigurable hierarchy optic network infrastructure centered on WDM, which could handle future internet usage requirements in the proposed network. And Musa M in year 2018 designed an energy efficient wavelength division multiplexing network. The authors were used different algorithms to provide analytic constraints for such frequency of 1+1 capable of surviving IP across WDM systems. The analytical constraints were found to be quite similar to the earlier reports. So in the proposed methods, it is a priority based round robin scheduling method. So which is priority based for task management, priority index assigns to each process. This process is ready queue are managed accordingly. And colony optimization in WDM networks, it block probability and number of wavelengths used. So the methodology used is network initialization, define specifications, implement coverage area, scheduling process with optimization, performance metrics, and then comparison. So in the methodology, we start, then enter the nodes and process. It is a flowchart which depicts the methodology, then enter specifications like bit rate, sampling rate. Then we deploy the nodes, wavelengths are assigned to the nodes. Then evaluation of the link rates for link stabilities is done. Then evaluate the coverage area among the neighbor nodes and maintain the routing table. Implement minimum completion time for the execution of the processes to deliver packets. Perform optimization process. Evaluate the performance in terms of low blocking probability with respect to the number of wavelengths and the traffic load. In the result analysis, it describes the result in comparison between the proposed and the existing model. The network performance is calculated generally according to the defined parameters such as throughput and latency. Latency, it defines the average overall alive DPs from the source to the link. And throughput is the ratio of the number of data packets received successfully.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir, but you have last 1 minute.
Okay, I will just directly jump to the comparison analysis. So when all the things were compared using this logic with the traditional systems, we observed improvement in the throughput. We observed a reduction in the blocking probability and reduction in delay. So the proposed priority-based round-robin scheduling and ACO optimizer method have been concluded. Implement the scheduling process for the execution of tasks in an efficient way. The round-robin method has been implemented while considering priority-based task management. The priority index is assigned to each procedure. Procedures in ready queue are managed according to their priorities. After the scheduling process, the implementation of optimization will be implemented. The optimization will enhance the performance of the network. The proposed methods have three chief matrices, as already explained. PP, which is the blocking probability, throughput, and delay. The main motive of this analysis is to optimize these matrices. So the main principle of the ACU method is taking from the food and exploring the nature of actual ants. Then the performance evaluation was done, and hence, in nutshell, we observed the proposed model gave a 30% increase in the blocking probability, 11% benefit in the delay, and 98% improvement in the throughput. So these three parameters were found to be improved. So that is the advantages of this round robin method and the ant colony optimization which was used. So these are the references for the study. So that's all from my side.
Yeah, Bansal sir.
Yes, sir.
Very interesting work you have done within your research, and very impressive work.
Right, sir.
But very few questions I have in my mind. Why you have selected ant colony optimization for a technique for this one? There are so many other techniques are there. Then why you have selected this one?
So based on my experience on my knowledge of the techniques, I found it to be a bit optimistic and easy to
That
use.
means you want to say the other techniques are not optimistic.
Sir, I found the results to be encouraging when this.
Might be possible other technique have a more encouraging results.
Might be, sir.
But
Actually,
before when you go through the various research paper, then which one is a suitable in terms of a performance, we have to select that technique. Na?
yes, sir.
Out of them, we have the best technique is select for the research, but you have selected only ACO. So just I want to know, no doubt, you have done a great job. I'm not contradicting that one, but just I want to understand why you have selected. What is the reason behind that?
So I found it to be more efficient in terms of the context. Maybe there are other advantages.
Earlier I said, might be possible some other technique are more beneficial in terms of a performance evaluation. Might
right,
be, na?
Right, sir. Bilkul true, sir. Might be, but usme sir, then even I will not treat
perform any study. Just I want to know, have you performed any study for comparison purpose? These are the different techniques, and out of them, this one is best technique, means ACO is best for my case. Have you done this kind of research?
Actually, sir, the research, the topics which I mentioned here, more of these I found to be statistical and based on other probabilities like.
I agree, Bansal Sahab. I agree, but for choosing any of the technique, we just compare the similar technique, and out of them, which one is best, we have selected that one. So this is my humble request to you. Before proceeding, you just have a comparison for your research. This is only suggestion.
Right,
okay?
Sir, right.
Okay.
Sir, I take this point. I humbly take this point. What I will do, I will just take a couple of other techniques and then take it forward. Maybe.
Yeah. So you have a good justification why I have taken this ACO. Thank you so much.
Thanks, sir. Thanks.
As you proceed for next.
Okay, sir. So next presenter is just a second. Yes, Prashasti Jain, and he is presenting on cognitive psychology-based pattern analysis on music signal processing.
Hi, good morning. Shall I share my screen?
Yes, sir, you may please.
Okay. Can you see this?
Yes, we can see it, and please make it full screen and start your presentation.
Yeah. Is it visible now?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. Thank you. So I welcome you all to this presentation session of the virtual session 1C. And in my presentation, the topic is cognitive psychology based pattern analysis on musical signal processing. So my colleagues, Dr. Prashasti, Dr. Anjali, and myself has worked on this particular project. And this is the cognitive related psychology information that can be retrieved through some very good devices like electroencephalograph. So we have done a couple of exercises in our lab that has been set up in the Manipal University Jaipur region. And this is a great work that we are going to discuss in next. So what is the cognitive psychology and what is the musical processing? So in this particular presentation, we are going to take this agenda points like introduction, then the motivation, the methodology that is going to be adapted into this particular research, and the results will be discussed, and conclusion, and then references. So over here, you can see this particular diagram where the region of this brain areas are identified, and whatever the red portions that are actually highlighted. So it is giving you the idea like what a particular regions has been activated in our brain, so that we can find out some of the cognitive related tasks that can be processed. So in this particular research, the music is actually utilized whatever the music is actually putting a very different amount of impact onto our brain. So maybe sometimes we can feel that we are very much relaxed, that we are very much calm whenever we are just listening to the music. So music perform a wide variety of different sentiments that can be available whenever we are listening to any kind of a music, or maybe any kind of language. Maybe it is very soothing language. Maybe the spoken words are not that so much soothing. Then we also have to identify like our brain will be having some different temperaments, like joyful, sad feelings, or maybe other kind of feelings are attached to the particular music emotion. So we are getting this into our mind, like we have to take this analysis on the music wherever one particular person who are actually the subject of this particular project will be just listening to the music. And while he is listening to the music, he is finding that his sentiments are actually changed from if it is very much a relaxing song, then he's find that he is very much relaxed. And whenever some different music which is actually the joyful nature, so the person will be enjoying it, and he's finding that it is very joyful music. Then if suddenly the changing of this particular music segment has been put it from the happy to sad, then we can analyze that particular persons are actually getting involved into the sad feelings of available music pattern. So the music emotion-based analysis has been identified, that is the psychometric analysis that can be done onto the brain. So we put it this particular music segment to the subjects, that is the varied human mental state, and then the listener will be using this while he is doing the riyaz, or maybe he is performing into the different kind of performances, or maybe some musical people who are listening to these particular music artifacts. So we are using in this particular research the clustering algorithms, who are based on the musical pattern analysis, and the EEG device has been utilized in order to find out that what are the different observations, what are the maximum scores available. Based on that, the particular person is showing their emotional state change from anger to the calm or the relaxed, or maybe from relaxed to the violent state, or any other state. So the music is actually connected from various mental related health signals. So maybe it can be utilized while we are having the therapy settings to the particular patients, or maybe for educational enhancements while a particular person is listening to the music. His education related performance, or maybe the catching power, can be enhanced into the schools or the colleges. We sometimes also visualize this thing while we are having the agricultural irrigation things, and while we are having some amount of musical therapy, the growth of the agricultural lands can be increased. So that was very minute, but still some impact has been identified while we are having the Indian classical music played while we are having the some sort of irrigation. So the music is actually touching our society at very large, and that's why we are introduced this particular research. So EEG signal was captured. I won't take much time to discuss the EEG signal actually, but in cut short, I will just tell you that the human brain is categorized into the various portions. So left brain or right brain, or maybe some other montage regions are available into the electric encephalograph, where the channels are identified and put it into the brain, and then the brain regions can be captured, and accordingly the signals are actually submerged into this particular region. And then we collect these signals, and we identified that this collected data can be utilized in order to do some analytical research. So while putting these particular features, we utilize this into our methodology. So this is a Venn diagram of this particular methodology. Like we have collected the feature, the algorithm will be applied, then clustering identified with the different groupings of the different sentiments like sad or happy or maybe anger or violent. Then these pattern can be identified for the feature identification. Okay, so this is categorized into the three phases. Phase one is the. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, that interruption happened due to the non-stable connection. So the methodology includes this input data that can be collected as a feature, and then we have put it the emotion analysis onto this particular music signals with respect to the sentiment change scores used to grouping the output. So here, if you can see in this particular next slide, the results will be obtained in terms of the different patterns of the sentiment score changes. So happy, joy, and different grouping has been identified through this particular clustering algorithms. So in conclusion, we identified that Hindustani music system is well recognized, and this inspired the Indian music culture, where the music will be involved while having the therapeutic analysis, or maybe some different kind of people are getting involved to increase their lifestyles with respect to the musical change into the signal. So this kind of feeling of increased health will has been inspiring us to do this kind of research in our research lab situated in the Rajasthan region. The clustering approach was the DB scan we have utilized, and this has been outperformed in our results. So these are the references available with respect to this particular research, and these are some more other different references available into this particular research, and you can I can conclude this over here with respect to a thank you note. If you have any kind of doubts, please ask me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Akhilesh.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Yeah,
Very
good
good
morning.
afternoon. Very impressive work you have done.
Thank you.
Can you just explain why and where you have used clustering algorithms?
Yeah, the clustering algorithm was utilized while we capture the features from the various input signal.
Okay.
That is the.
Just stop. You capture the features. What kind of features you have captured?
We have utilized the EEG's device, that is
for EEG purpose,
device.
which software EEG purpose, when any person is listening music and how emotion is changed, that is captured with the help of EEG.
Yes, correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
So the same person, the mood swings of the same person captured how much time or how many times?
Yeah, I tell you in a short, like when we play the music, the input notes which has been applied onto the any kind of human head, then we have to analyze in the real time that which particular portion has been activated with respect to that particular music segment. So if some regions has been activated and it is showing the amount
you have capturing devices for this research in your institution?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is the CIDCR lab, the Cognitive Data Computing Research Lab, where we are just putting this in the real time, this data set capturing, and then
have
we are
ever you analyzed at the listening of music, how pineal gland activated and how hormone secretion is done? Have ever you checked this thing?
No, this is the limitation of our this particular study. Like we have only identified the human.
Then how can we justify, then how, if that is not possible, then how on the behalf of EEG, how can we say that the emotion can be correct without the activation of hormonal secretion on the pineal gland level? How we can say?
Yeah.
This
No,
is a
sir, we
simple,
have not
simple research
utilized the
study of the emotional intelligence. How the change,
yes,
might
yes.
be possible some person change the mood of, by the doing some exercise or like that. How can we say that this is the results? Correct?
No, sir. You are saying about the chemical reaction based the pituitary gland and
Yes,
all.
yes,
We have
absolutely.
that is the different domain of the study. We have confined our research onto the human this
But that
scalp
is not
based
correct.
analysis only.
Dr.
Yeah.
Achilles, that is not absolutely correct. Without changing in the
Ah,
chemical
yeah.
behavior,
We have
we
certain
can't
more.
say
Yes. Yeah, you're correct, sir. Because we can have the extension of this research towards that
what is
direction as well.
what
So
are the
yeah,
proofs.
we can do.
As you
Yes, sir.
mentioned
Sorry.
that in the Riyaz or something else, you have mentioned so many times about the Riyaz. Do you think
Yes, sir.
Riyaz
Yes,
is
sir.
helpful
In
for
Riyaz, while
changing
doing
the
the Riyaz,
emotions?
no, sir. While doing the Riyaz, how the particular mood is changed with respect to the
This is
particular
theoretical.
person who is performing in front of any listener. So that
Dr.
particular
Achilles, this is
mood analysis can be
theoretically
established.
what you want to
Yes, sir.
say, but what exactly I'm saying, this is theoretically. Please do some remarkable work. This is theoretically by the Riyaz or doing this the emotion are changed, and this is the clustering algorithm we apply in this way. This is all the theoretically. Okay.
Yes, sir. We have done
So
with the feature
this is my
analysis
humble
only. Yes.
request for this is
Yes.
for you. This is my humble request. We have to do some significant and remarkable work. Okay. So thank you so
Yeah. We
much.
can extend it. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah. We certainly do this particular note of your suggestion.
Harshji, please
Thank you.
proceed for next.
Okay, sir. So our next presenter is M. Narayan Royal, and he's presenting on detection of fake reviews on products using machine learning.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. You may please start your presentation.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. The title of our paper is Detection of Fake Reviews on Products Using Machine Learning. Directly moving on to the abstract. As we know that user reviews plays a big part in deciding an organization income in e-commerce. Like for any people who purchase any kinds of goods, the customers will always rely on the product reviews as well only. And also as a result, the trustworthiness of online evaluation is critical for organizations and may have direct impact on the reputation and revenue. And this is why even companies pay spammers to write fake reviews by themselves itself. So here we try to detect which are fake and which are real so that the end user can understand and even have a decision whether to buy the product or not. Yeah, and the objectives of our project is using a web interface for review text, like the end user can give a review text input, and also the other three parameters like the purchase, like the whether that is certified or like it is real or fake, that will be detected. And we use this by using a machine learning techniques, and that will just manipulate the text given by the user in our AI, and also it will classify the review whether it is a fake or real. And the related works that include are fake review detection, and here they use a method called supervised learning, where they took help data set which have the reviews like a fake and review and train the model. And the second one includes a framework for fake detection in online consumer electronic retails, and they use a method called add a boost classifier. And here they use scrapping techniques and construct a data set for classifying fake reviews in the consumer electronic domain in 4 different cities. And also the third paper contains the creating and detecting fake reviews on online products. And here the method will be the OpenAI fake detection model, and they create example reviews based on two language models and also select the best language model for creating a fake review dataset that also include the original human written reviews. The fourth one will be the fake review detection using supervised machine learning, and the supervised learning will be the method, and even they use the ELF dataset and found out that the KNN algorithm will be the best for them. And the fifth one will be the method for detection of fake reviews based on temporal features of reviews and comments. The method they use was isolated forest, and in this proposed technique, the first convert product, they converted the product reviews records to a temporal feature record and create an isolation forest algorithm to discover outlier reviews. And our proposed system architecture will include like first we try to install all the modules and import the necessary libraries in Python and read the dataset using the pandas. And we after reading, we try to clean by sanitizing, which is done by performing the tokenization. The tokenization is basically like splitting each sentence into a word, and later we create a corpus of final tokenized words, and also we perform the count vectorization, which basically do like counting the number of words that are repeated in a given uh, in the tokenized word. After that, we also perform the post tagging, which include the part of speech of each word, and we tag the part of speech of one word, and later we do the label encoding, which converts the labels into a numerical form. And also after that, we perform the one hot encoder where the machine can understand only the zeros and ones, so we convert it into a zeros and ones. And finally, we split the data set into training and testing mode. So later we use the algorithm called SVM and naive bias. Let me move on to the programming language we used is Python, and the tool that we implemented the code will be in Jupyter Notebook, and we took the data set from the Kaggle, and here is the link that I mentioned. Moving on to the implementation, first we took the data set, we find the data set, and we import the necessary libraries in Python to read the data in data set and download the analytical libraries which have like stop words. So we try to remove those stop words, and the tokenization is like as I said earlier, like it takes a whole sentence and split it into words, and we perform the count vectorization, which count the number of each words that are repeated in a document. And post tagging include the parts of speech, like as you can see here, the word and the tag is the output, like the word is tagged with respect to parts of speech, and the label encoding performs like it transform the labels into a numerical form so machine can understand the labels. And one hot encoder will just convert it into a binary only like ones and zeros. And later we train the model. We have a data set which is clean. Now we divided the data set into training and testing, like 80% for training and 20% for testing by using a train test split function. And the perform, and as I mentioned, like we use two algorithms like naive bias and SPM. We found that SPM gave an accuracy of 80%, and it outperformed the other algorithms as well. And the web interface that we created so that the user can even give the input of the reviews, and like as I mentioned here, like the picture shows a review of an Amazon product, and the user can even select the text, and we have an interface which is this, like user can give the review text input here, and also the rating, and also what rating, like it shows there is a 5-star rating, so if they get the 5 rating, and also the verified purchase, yes, and what kind of product is like electronics. After clicking on the submit, you can view that whether it is a true or whether it is fake. The background happens the machine learning where all this process will happen. The input is given by the user here, the review text, and if the review is fake, like it, here we took here to realize whether it is fake, I only gave the review in my own. So the review which I gave in my own, it got detected as fake. You can see this, and which is the real one. You can see it got shows as a true review. And moving on to the conclusion, as I said, like SPM shows the accuracy more than other algorithms, and we can able to identify whether it is true or whether it is fake by this. And the references include enhancing NLP techniques for safety detection and all other reviews. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Narayan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have done a great job for a detection of fake review on product using machine learning. And you have used SVM and other algorithms for reviewing purpose. Great. But you haven't mentioned that for what parameters you have selected for a review purpose. For let us suppose you are selecting the electronic product. For that purpose, we have a different kind of review. If we have a grocery product, some kind of thing, so then we have a different kind of review parameters. So have you selected the same kind of parameters, or you have chosen this different kind, means product specific? You haven't mentioned in your presentation.
So like if the product is laptop, there is an option like it can be electronic, and if the product is any other, there is a multiple options in the product category. So the product can be anything. It can be.
Let us suppose we have two mobile phones, okay, and we want to check the fake reviews about that. Okay, so for that purpose, what kind of parameters you have selected?
Like
check whether that is a fake or that is a genuine review.
Like as we took the data set is only on Amazon, so the Amazon reviews which have mobiles, so we just select the text from the reviews that are the mobile reviews, and we just paste it here. If we generate the say,
this is Mr. Narayan. This is a procedure that you select any text, and based on the text, you just give the review. Okay, but for that, within that text, what are the key aspects or key terms? So based on that key terms, anyone or system can find that these are the parameters. Based on that text is fake or genuine. So just I want to know the parameters.
Sir, I just mentioned like these are the things that are done. All the process that is done in backend. The text input will be took, and all the tokenization, countervectorization.
Anyway, I had gone through the presentation, so please think about that. Whatever data set you have taken from Amazon or somewhere else, but exactly what parameters we needed for the review purpose. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much. Proceed for next, Arjun.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Narayan, for your great presentation. And now I would like to invite our next presenter, Ruhina Hashmi, and she is presenting on determination and prediction of bosom malignant genes growth utilizing scRNA sequencing information by AI applications. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
I'm sharing my thing. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. A very good morning, all of the eminent dignitaries and research scholars present over here. My name is Ruhina Hashmi, PhD researcher from MGM University, Aurangabad, Maharashtra. I'm going to present my research paper here, and the title of my research paper is Determination and Prediction of Bosom Malignant Genes Growth Utilizing Single-Cell RNA Sequencing Information by AI Applications. Now, my topic is based on the breast cancer, which is also known as the bosom malignant. So the contents of my talk is introduction, methodology, database collection, machine learning algorithms, results, conclusion, and references. Now the main main reason behind this research is to find a particular application, or to develop a particular application which analyze the gene expressions and find the early detection of breast cancer. So the primary aim of the health-related AI application is the analyzing relationship between the prevention or treatment and techniques and patient outcomes. So AI and ML algorithm can also be used to analyze large amount of data through the electronic health records for disease prevention and the diagnosis. So AI programs are applied to practice such a diagnosis process, treatment process, drug development, personalized medicine, etc. Now we will see how does cancer develop. So cancer is a genetic disease. It is brought about by changes and qualities that control how our cells' capability, particularly the way that develop. So the genetic changes can cause the cancer, which are errors occur as a cell division while cell can divide. So some errors occur. Due to these errors, they can produce the cancer cells. So harmful substance harm DNA and climate. For example, the synthetic and tobacco smoke, bright beam from the sun, and etc. So they were now they were inherit some genes from the parents also. So we will see the types of cancer. There are different types of cancer, maybe 200 types of cancer. The common cancers are lung cancer, brain cancer, breast cancer, cervical cancers, and etc. So the main, we have how to find this cancer. So we use the cancer screening techniques. So these are the traditional cancer screening techniques, which is used mammography, ultrasound, biopsy, MRI, and CT scan, and blood profiling. Now these techniques have some limitations, such as the mammogram have their limits. For example, they are not 100% precise in appearing on the off chance that a lady has a bosom malignant growth. Sometimes it shows false positive, assuming there is no disease in the bosom. So the false negative despite that the fact that bosom malignant growth is available. The breast cancer, also known as a bosom malignant growth. So numerous diseases are not apparent on the ultrasound. If ultrasound also have a limitation. To overcome these limitations, the novel technique is used to investigate cancer nowadays are RNA sequencing. So it has an incredible tool for exploring the intercellular transcriptomes in light of cutting-edge sequencing in a single-cell RNA sequencing. So RNA sequencing or single-cell RNA sequencing provide a functional information about the cancer genes expression and the gene fusion that drive tumor progression. So emerging this of single-cell RNA sequencing technology has brought a new strategies to deeply understand the biological behavior of the breast cancer cell. So single-cell RNA sequencing technology provide a useful method for distinguish the molecular characteristics and investigate the mechanism of a breast cancer metastasis. So single cell can be used to identify markers to predict the prognosis of the breast cancer patient. Now, this is the methodology. Using that single cell RNA sequencing database, we can perform some, we can use AI models on that database, and we have to find out some results. So the proposed experimental system uses a machine learning algorithm for detecting gene expression cells. We can collect that cells from the luminal AB and a B cell for breast cancer using an online data set, that is single cell sequencing data set. Now, my intelligent system contains 4 steps. The first step is a data collection. In this, we can focus on the collection of single cell sequence data from online available data set. The second step is a focus on the pre-processing, which filters the data based on the required biomarkers. Third is a ML classifier, which is focused on the classification of data using ML classification of such as decision tree, KNN, RF, SVM, etc. So the result of the classification, the fourth step is represent the results of person disease for detection and prediction analysis. Now I collect the database from this NCBI database, that is just GSE118389 database, which is the name of the database, and I choose the subtype. These are my parameters, that is subtypes of breast cancer: Lumina A, Lumina B, and Bessels. And in this Luminal A and Luminal B and Bessels, we have some gene markers. Here I show you these gene markers, and we have to find out these gene markers, and we have to apply the models on this database. The first step is we have to clean this database. So single cell RNA, these database having including a 1500 cells, including 3 metadata columns, and we can process on the database systematic. It is cell division and genes division. We will aggregate gene expression data from many experiments and spare the metadata in one file. And we have to clean this data to removing unnecessary data or missing values through the drop any method in the Python. So I use a Python programming for doing this processing through the Jupyter notebook. And these are the machine learning algorithm I used here: SPM, KNN, DT, and random forest. Now, here this is the result. I show you that the figure 3 indicates the individual pattern for gene expressions. I show you that in all the given subtypes of breast cancer, using subnorm heat map method in the Python, we can use to show the heat map segments at this individual tissue. Test cover 3 boson disease subtypes, that is Lumina A, which shows the green, Lumina B is the blue, and the Bessel, that is the olive color. So as well as a common example, that is pink, is the simple individual quality genes. Okay, now we will see the clustering process.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we have last 1 minute.
Okay, so applying these algorithms, I found the result here. So the highest accuracy in this algorithms is a random forest, which having 91% accuracy. So this is the confusion matrix, and the conclusion is the major the random forest is the best accurate machine learning algorithm for the analysis of the breast cancer data set. So this is the major reason of for the facilities is cancer. The live human can save early identification of the cancer with the aid of contemporary machine learning algorithms. This is the references. Thank you.
So, Rovinaji, great work. And almost similar work is done from last couple of years.
Yes, sir.
The same kind of algorithm used by the various researchers and same kind of results predicted by them. So can you justify your work over there?
So I'm using RNA sequencing data set. Most of the work is on the mammography.
As I remember, 3 years back, the same kind of RNA sequencing used by some of the researchers belongs to China or somewhere else, as I remember. So what is, how you can differentiate that your work is remarkable? This is my one question to you.
Okay, they are using only 2 algorithms. They cannot use full algorithms. Some use SVM and KNN, some use naive Bayes algorithms. So they cannot use 4 algorithms at a time, and they cannot perform using these 4 models, and they cannot.
That means you want to say, first time you are using all 4 algorithms. Nobody used before this.
No, because whatever I research, they can use only two algorithms, different algorithms. But I choose that which algorithm is. I read the papers and find out that in this paper SVM is
Thank you.
accurate. In
Thank you
this
so
paper,
much.
this like this. In this way, I find out
Yeah,
that and
thank
I
you, Rohina.
apply this
Thank
one.
you. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
okay.
Proceed for next, Harshji.
Yes, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for your great presentation. Now, I'd like to invite our next presenter, Sandeep Chanda, and he's presenting on development of a PMU database for classification in smart electrical power networks. The presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Thank you, sir. Let me share my screen. I think it is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So my topic is development of PMU-based fault classification in smart electrical power networks, paper ID 174. I am Dr. Chandigarh Chanda from GKCIET, Malda, West Bengal. And my co-authors are Mr. Subhrajal Datto, Dr. Papun Bikshas, and Dr. Abhinandan Dey. Now, this work is basically based on training the data of electrical power grid in different adversities with machine learning techniques, especially the electrical fault. An electrical fault may cause a lot of financial loss, and also it can endanger the human personnel who are working in the electrical power grid systems, different systems in transmission. Also, it can endanger the electrical equipment. And what we find that traditional system monitoring and control, we use SCADA system, that is supervisory control and data acquisition, which only uses static data. And when we are moving from static state estimation to dynamic state estimation with the help of phasor measurement techniques, we see that we have the knowledge of static data as well as dynamic data like phase angle. Our endeavor in this work is to find some machine learning algorithms to train the data of electrical power grid in fault conditions, so that when these fault starts to occur, the system can predict them and required control action can be easily taken, quickly taken. This is the a glimpse of the literature survey done on this work. What we have seen mostly is the training method. The training method is with static data like voltage, current, and the training of these data produces less accuracy of testing, and that's why we went on to develop a new method of training the machine learning algorithms with the available power grid data. Now, this is the state estimation model, where we see that the state variables are obviously voltage, frequency, phase angle, and along with that, the generation of the generators and the loads of the consumers, the electrical loads of the consumers. So they will also play an important role in this training method. Though their values are, in this work, their values are assumed to be constant, we have only considered that voltage, frequency, and phase angle are changing. But in modern power system, the generations are maybe also varying. The consumers may also vary their demand according to their need, especially as smart loads are being available. So smart electrical appliances are being available. So, but for this particular work, we have considered the change of voltage, frequency, and phase angle only. Now, this is the methodology, the algorithm that we simulate fault in standard power system software. We have used MATLAB to simulate fault in IEEE 9-bus system. And then we have collected the fault data, and we simply train our machine learning algorithms with that fault data. And we try to find the particular machine learning algorithm which is giving maximum accuracy. And we then again tested the particular model, machine learning model, with another set of data where the similar kind of faults were created. And we saw that it is able to predict that fault. But in this algorithm, we have made some changes. We actually introduce a change in the training method, where instead of training the machine learning algorithm with static data, we try to train the machine learning algorithm with the change of state variables like voltage, frequency, phase angle. Instead of training it with fixed values of voltage, frequency, phase angle, we try to train them with the change of voltage, frequency, phase angle. This is the 9-bus network. We have used one PMU data, one PMU unit. PMU means phasor measurement unit, which collects voltage, frequency, phase angle. And along with that, we have created fault between bus number 4 and bus number 5. It's a simulated fault. And the PMU collects the data in both in healthy condition and in different types of faulty condition. Now, this classification of fault is important because different types of faults can happen in the circuit, in the power system, like single line to ground fault, like line to line fault, like triple line to ground fault. Now, each of the fault has different treatments, different control methodology. So unless the faults are classified accurately, it is not possible to predict methodology to eradicate the effects of the fault, to rectify the effects of the fault. This is it. We have collected data.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you have last 1 minute. Please conclude your presentation.
Yes, yes. So see that we have classified it with system condition 1 to where 1 is the healthy condition and 2 are different simulated fault conditions. Then we have trained, and we have compared all that model. We have compared all the models, and we have found that k nearest neighbor algorithm and support vector machine are giving maximum accuracy of 83.3%. And then we again tested the algorithm. These are some sample data. We have tested it, and we found that these two algorithms are producing good result. Then we introduced this change of voltage, change of frequency, and change of phase angle. We trained the system with that data. And what we found that the accuracy during testing increased from 83.3% to nearly 92%. So this is one of the methods one of my scholar is working on, and we are proposing that we will take this method to the frequency domain, where instead of considering the data or change of data, we will consider the frequency of data. We will try to train the machine learning algorithm with the frequency of the data, and as per that it will be able to predict. Now, one thing I have missed to tell, why machine learning algorithm? Because in conventional method, the computer has to solve mathematical equations in order to find out, in order to predict the next state or the fault occurrence. In machine learning algorithm, as we are doing it by patterns, the latency in this work is less. We can detect the fault quickly, and we can take action at the earliest. I thank the organizers of the conference for considering this paper and accept. These are few publications on this work. These are the references. Thank you, sir. Hello, sir. Dr. Sandeep, I am audible to you? Yes, you're audible, but the voice is very low.
Congratulations for the great work. And whatever whatever I want to ask, that is in last you have said why machine learning. But again, I have one more question in my mind.
Sir.
Which machine learning algorithms you have selected for your research work?
Sir, actually, we in MATLAB we have classifier algorithm, right? And inbuilt they are offering nearly 10 to 12 different machine learning algorithms. Now we have taken all the algorithms.
2 or 3 algorithms. Can you name 2 or 3 algorithms?
Yes, we have trained it with all the algorithms, and we found that k-nearest neighbor algorithm and SVM, support vector machine, are giving better accuracy. The other algorithms are also there, like Bayesian algorithm, and some other algorithms were also there.
And can it be used decision tree algorithm for your
yeah
work?
decision tree algorithm was there, sir. So these algorithm was
So what is the basis? My next question is, what is the basis of selection of these algorithms for your work? What is the basis?
Sir, there was no basis, sir. Actually,
At random, any algorithm can be selected.
No, sir. Sir, the basis was that we have with all the available algorithms, we have trained the model, and we found that the percentage of accuracy of training is better in k-nearest neighbor and support vector machine, and that's why we have chosen k-nearest neighbor and support vector machine. If you see, sir, this is
your presentation. I already gone through your presentation.
Yes, sir. This is the one, sir. Yes, sir. Again, the voice got low. I don't know. Like, sir. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Shall we move for the next presentation?
Yeah, please move on.
Okay. So our next presenter is, just a second, Nidhi Upadhyay, and she's presenting on potato leaves disease detection with data augmentation using deep learning approach. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Yes, sir. So is it visible?
Yes, it is visible. Please make it full screen and after that, start.
Okay. So a very good morning to everyone. My name is Kiri Padya and this is the outline in which I will cover introduction, followed by motivation, research, objective, followed by literature review and differences. So first and foremost, we have to know about what the agriculture is. So agriculture basically is the art and science of cultivating the plants, growing crops, raising livestock. And agriculture was a key development in rise of sedentary human civilization, basically. And it is basically a practice of cultivating natural resources to sustain human life and provide economic gain. And it is an area which require labor, money, time for good result. And nowadays, agriculture is becoming digital and AI is emerging in this field. And these are some area in which agriculture is applying artificial intelligence for crop disease detection, fruit and vegetable grading, soil management, pest control. Motivation behind why it is a predominant pillar in Indian economy, and according to the economy survey of 2020, this accounting Indian gross domestic product and provide employment to around 50% of country workforce. And India percent depend on agriculture. Agriculture and organization for teachers of and disorder. So it is required for detecting the disease timely and prevent detection timely as well as accurately, fast detection of disease detection. So crop disease detection is basically finding the disease on crop, and it is basically evident in various parts of plant like crop leaves, stem, branch, soil, and all these. And there are various categories of crop disease, which is categorized in two categories like biotic and abiotic. In the biotic disease, which are caused by the infectious agent like pathogen, fungal, bacterial, viruses, and in the abiotic disease, which are caused by the non-infectious agent like psychological factors such as temperature, humidity, sunburn, and many more. And it is the most primary concern for every country for air because food demand is increasing day by day. So we need a smarter approach and become more effective about how we farm and how we can be most productive, because it is a serious causes in degrading production of quality and quantity. These are some category of crop suffered from different category of disease. And these are some literature review which I have gone through for crop disease detection. The proposed work in which firstly I acquire the image by the help of basically I take data set from the plant village, and finally and these are some images of the early blight disease, late blight disease, and healthy leaf. And in the pre-processing, basically pre-processing is used for removing the noise and the blur or any shadow on the crop for better analysis. And we apply data augmentation because the number of figures are too not compatible for applying the CNN, because CNN require the more data. And feature extraction, in which we extract the feature, and by applying BGG19, which is used for is basically a pre-trained model, and there is basically 9 learnable layer for analysis. And finally, classification, in which convolution neural network is applying for classification. And these are results. and accuracy in which I got 99.2% accuracy. Conclusion, basically, the proposed approach is focused on two basically diseases like early blight and late blight, and the result shows the proposed algorithm better than other previously established algorithm, and it is also real field collected data may drop accuracy because drop in real environment if we take the real environment photo. And these are some references.
Okay.
I'm audible?
So I think so. Nidhi is left the meeting.
Okay, not an issue.
Okay, so we'll move forward to our next presenter.
How many
This one is the last, sir. So next presenter is M. Bala Subba Reddy, and he's presenting on a power quality conditioner with fuzzy logic controller. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay.
My screen is visible.
Yes, please.
It is not coming full screen mode.
I think so. Bala Subba Reddy has a technical issue, so we'll conclude the session. So now I sincerely thank our session chair and all the participants for their great presentation and their contribution in this session. I hope this session was informative enough. And we, on behalf of whole team, thank you for your support during this version and the previous 6 version of this conference. And we will be happy to have you all in the 8th version of this conference in 2023. Moreover, all the participants will be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. And further, all the papers have been already forwarded to the printer. And publication will be live within 5 to 6 months. So kindly cooperate with the team ICTCS 2022. Now, I also thank our session chair for chairing the session. Sir, there's a token of appreciation on behalf of to the chair on behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation and team ICTCS 2022.
Thank you so much for this wonderful token of appreciation.
Okay.
Thank you, Hasji, and thank you all the participants for your wonderful presentations. You have done a remarkable work in the research, and definitely your work will be appreciable around the globe. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you, sir. And now in the end, okay. Great. Now in the end, I would like to request you all to turn on your camera to capture some good memories of this virtual conference. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you.